And we're back. Alrighty. Gosh, it's coming down outside.
It is.
So, Emily has reached the place where the child thing becomes properly creepy and like introduces weird themes into our game.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you.
This always happens.
Thank you.
This is like Emily's like, I love playing a kid, and then she's like,
I love playing
Why
kid.
did I
They're so
play a kid?
innocent. Oh God. Yeah, it's true.
happens every
I never
time.
learn.
I think we need to like time skip.
Sure.
I think when
Yeah, because I think like we absolutely just see me like running in the direction of sunrises. Like,
where do you
at
want
the
to
end.
pick it up?
Pardon?
Where do you want to pick it up?
Okay.
I like.
think-
Sorry, Jimmy, you go.
Well, I was just gonna say I'd like to be like a few days have passed, and I'm helping the people who have come to stay with me adjust, and they're sort of helping me out at the station. Like, what was the splotchy person who said that they weren't going to do any work?
Harridan?
Or that
Clarion.
Clarion.
Yeah.
Harridan had
I
the
like
sword.
the idea of having Clarion sitting on the couch while one of the other people pulls out records, and Clarion just says "yep" or "nah."
Yeah.
A
She's
record
like-
goes back.
I like it.
Because like if it's Clarion, Clarion's gonna be like, no, that's silly.
Yeah,
And she's like, oh, that looks nice.
yeah.
You know. And like,
Like, it's not really having any impact on
Yeah.
on what's going on, but
You just need to give them a job so that
yeah,
they would
exactly.
Like-
So that
be occupied.
yeah, so that he doesn't they don't do any damage while they're idle.
Yeah, I'm totally picturing that, like, in the television show version, this is a new episode. Like the last episode cliffhangered on Give running away, and then this is now like the the weird like opening credits slice of life montage. It's just Mito's tower and like the weird record sorting ritual.
Hang on.
I reckon like the scene of Mito getting to do that job, I reckon would be cool to get done tonight.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
I think it'd be
Yeah.
cool if all of us are there
Yeah, I mean,
together.
I
haven't
certainly
done
that.
want to be there.
Maybe it's not exactly maybe time skip isn't the right
So here's
like
the thing.
yeah.
Give. What did you do? Did you go and see Lola?
Yeah, I ran to Lola's house, and then of course Lola wasn't there. But I could hear on the radio that like things were happening. There were lots of people at the
Cool.
radio station, so I went to the radio station.
Cool. Awesome.
I was one of the, what is it, Mito, the expert guests or whatever it was. You heard me on the radio being
Yeah,
like, all right,
right.
kids, here's some self-defense 101. Actually, no, it was like how to light a fire. I was explaining
Yeah.
how to make a fire bow and start a friction fire
Cool.
on the
Yep.
off chance you have dry things to do it with.
Yep. So yeah, I detour past Sunrise's place, assuming there's nothing of note there. I'd head straight to the radio.
Yep.
Yep.
Cool. Awesome. In which case,
Yeah, because I feel like once Sunrise hears
Oh, and I
what's
look like myself
happened-
again. Obviously, I don't look like
Yeah.
this person anymore.
Yeah, I think once Sunrise hears what's happened, they're going to be keeping Give pretty close for the next little while.
I mean, if
And
I
so, yeah,
tell
I can-
you,
all right. So
That's-
you rock
that's a
up.
good point.
You rock up.
Yeah.
Like, what weird entrance do you use? Do you use your tunnels? Like, do your tunnels go this
Yeah.
far?
I mean, it goes into everyone's space.
Yeah. Fair enough.
So yeah, I think I have a tunnel into the radio.
So, A,
station?
what's the weird way you appear, and B, what, like, how can someone, like, what's the result of you traveling through? Let's count that, like, 2 kilometers of tunnels.
I mean, I don't think that this is a case of like. I think the like the spatial thing here is not super weird.
Right,
like
yeah,
I think it
yeah.
is. I think I do just like run through a lot of tunnels.
Yeah.
But I think the way that I get in, like I'm imagining, and I don't know whether this lines up with your like vision of the building, Jimmy, but I'm imagining that the like radio studio has those like tile like ceiling tile
Foam
things,
tile
you know, like
ceilings?
Oh, yep.
schools have,
Yeah.
Yep.
and they're like removable. So I
Yep.
think like one of those is like my way into the radio station is like there's one that I like, you know, a tunnel
Hey,
leads
you
to.
can just get into the ceiling,
just sort of
right?
like- I just get into the ceiling and then I like can come out through this like loose tile in the ceiling.
Yeah. So I also have this one of the who was the person who came to the door first.
Kettle.
Kettle.
So
She's
I
not
like the
here,
idea
she's
of
gone.
Kettle. Oh, she's gone.
Yeah, because like she's got other shit to do. She's not
Okay.
babysitting. She's,
Not good.
you're
Okay.
babysitting.
Well, then just one of the
That's your job,
one
Nina.
of the other
Yeah.
one of the other people is walking around. They've decided that their job is to make sure that everyone else is doing their job. So
Yeah,
they
right.
so they're walking up to everyone and being like, okay, who are you and what's your job? And there's a
Yeah.
crash behind them
Yeah.
as Give falls through the ceiling.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they turn around and they think for a split second and then go back into work mode and go straight up to Give and say,
Mhm.
hi, what's your name and what is your job here?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
Love it.
I mean, presented with that,
This is Mill.
Mill is saying this to me.
Mill.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have I met Mill before? Obviously
Yeah,
not.
you've met
Otherwise,
Mill
why
before.
would they ask me?
Yeah.
Why would they ask me?
Yeah,
why
no. They're just like they come up to you and
They're just saying
and
that to everyone.
Mill isn't very good at remembering anyone anymore.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's-
All right. Okay. Yeah.
He's
So I'm
getting-
used to maybe Mill's asked me this before. So I sort of like scrunch my face up in like a confused way because I don't understand why Mill keeps asking me this. And I'm like, I'm Give. Same as before. I don't have a job.
It's like and Mill's like, okay.
And I'm like
well, you can
standing
come
up and
over
like
here.
awkwardly dusting my
And,
clothes.
yeah. And Mill's like, well, you're nice and small, so you should get under here and organize these cables.
Oh my
I
God.
like
I'm-
to like look at the cables and like look back at Mill, and then
Mill,
I like kind of like,
Mill like holds out some cable ties.
and then I like sort of like, you know how kids do that thing where they kind of like pull themselves upright,
Yeah.
and I like pull myself upright, and I'm like, my job is to see sunrise.
Mill's like, is like, oh well, that makes sense, and like, it's like, well, you should
Sunrise
probably
often
go-
has children with them.
it's like, well, you and like hands you a packet of zip ties, and then it's like,
Excellent.
well, you should go
I
and
put
find
them in my
then.
pocket. Great. I'm gonna add zip ties to my inventory. Thank you.
Yes.
I'm totally.
Cool. Right.
Jimmy-
I put the zip ties in my pocket and then I go find sunrise.
Jimmy, I'm totally picturing that Mito gave Mill this job of like asking people if they're doing the right thing, as like it as an act of kindness,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it turns what is like the manifestation of like, you know, her
Yeah.
ongoing struggle with dementia into like
Yeah.
something that feels empowered and like
Yeah.
practical.
That's
Mm.
exactly
Yeah.
exactly
That's
like
that's real nice.
yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna like wander around between people until I find sunrise.
Cool. You almost get hit with a sword, but you find sunrise.
Okay. Okay, cool. Someone has a
You're
sword.
having a-
Interesting.
Well,
He was having a day.
Harridan is getting rid of the rats.
Okay, with a sword. Sweet. That seems like legit. That would work.
Yeah.
So I
I
find
think
some.
You hear a ha ha before before you almost get hit with a sword, right? Like,
Amazing.
Oh, I
Wow.
kind of want to give these guys a spin-off.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. This is the series that is just like it's like Black Books, only it's about your radio station.
Yeah, it's a
old
little bit
people.
Black Books, and it's a little bit like The Boat That Rocked.
Yeah. So I come and find Sunrise.
Yeah.
And just sort of like kind of, I don't know, climb on them by way of making my presence known.
Yeah, I think I think I'm like wrapping up on the radio, like having explained to the audience. And actually, Mito, let me ask, like when you have expert guests on your show, did they just sit in front of a microphone and talk, or do you like interview them and act as a proxy for being given expert advice?
Well, it's a back and forth. So you're explaining how to build a firebow. Is that what you were?
I'm explaining how to use a fire saw in like a good circumstance. I think we've done that. Like we've wrapped up that bit, and now I'm going into the like. Okay, so imagine it's the middle of the freeze. Your wood is wet. Your moss is wet. The string is wet. The stick is bent. Like, okay, so here's how you do it in that case. Like we're doing the worst case scenario version.
It would have actually.
You get out your kerosene.
No.
Well, I imagine that would have been like the back and forth would probably be like, okay, that's great. So that's how you do that when you've got dry sticks. But a lot of people, a lot of our listeners out there don't have access to anything dry.
Our listeners.
Totally.
You're access to dry sticks.
Yeah. So like, what would you recommend for our listeners who've only got wet sticks? And I'm like, that's a good question, Mito.
Wet sticks.
Let me tell you how to make it work with wet sticks.
So informative.
I increasingly feel like this is what plays over the closing credits of the show. It's just like credits on a black screen and the sound of one of these segments.
Yes, I love it.
Sorry.
So I climb up on I think I climb up onto your lap if you're sitting down.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I've noticed Give, and I think that we'd like to put our hands together. All of our listeners are all putting their hands together for all of the wonderful help that you've offered today, Sunrise. And I also would like to thank you. And we've got a lot to get through, so I'm gonna put on some rock and roll. Some good old punk rock. I'm gonna play the Henry Rollins version of "Let There Be Rock." I think is probably what we want, because it's in the beginning. I feel like I'm trying to educate as well the new people. Just basically, the excuse here is to get you, like, clearly, there's some distress here, and I don't want that happening on my radio. Yeah.
So I think I give you a look.
Yeah.
Of like seen and understood, and then I Give up off my lap and put them on my shoulders.
Yep.
And we go for a bit of a walk, and we find a slightly more private part of the Radio Shack.
Which is probably very hard to find at the moment because there's people everywhere, though.
Yeah, we may end up having to just go outside. Like, it's entirely possible.
Also, I noticed there's a...
Yeah, I noticed that too.
Thing in the chat there.
A little sound happens in the office. Just a...
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
So that's like as we're leaving the room, maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
What does the conversation look like in the other room?
I think I think the first thing that you notice, like, Give is sort of trying to look pretty like neutral. But I think the first thing that you notice is that they're just like kind of like repeatedly wiping their hands like on the backs of their pants. They're just trying to wipe something off of their hands. And like, that's sort of the thing that is a bit like weird.
And I'm giving them the parent eye.
They're trying not to make eye contact with you.
Yeah. The one that says, I know you did something, and I know what you did because I'm a parent and I'm psychic. But I want to hear you say it out loud. I want to hear you admit what you did. Yeah, so I'm just like giving you that look.
Yeah.
And watching like every little twitch of your eyes and every little like nervous tick as you try and avoid engaging. I'm like,
Yep.
yeah. So I feel like I'm trying to read a person again.
It sounds like you're trying to read a person. It does sound like that.
I feel like I've been doing that a lot this.
I mean, your grandchild has bloody hands. That feels like a charged situation.
Yeah, I think like even though you've tried to wipe them clean, like I think
I've just sort of because
like, there's still a little like under your fingernails, but like I notice, right? Because like I am used to
and like I'm just wiping it straight
violence.
onto my pants, right?
Yeah,
like
which doesn't help.
I just seem to think that because it's the back of my pants, you won't be able to tell. Like you can't see it because it's the back, where I can't see. Oh yes, there you go.
Yeah.
So sharp.
I got a 12. I'm sharp as hell. And I just filled my experience bar.
Sweet.
But I don't know what my move's going to be yet. Alright. Cool. Yeah, so let's have conversation. And I'll spend hold to do stuff as we go. Yeah, what happened?
I went to Partridge's fort. They're like doing stuff with guns, and they've got something in the fridge, but it's grown-up stuff.
And who told you that?
The people there. I think there's literally actually a bit where like I think there's actually a bit where like Give laughs like eventually because it's like you like I can imagine Sunrise sort of like doing the kind of like looming like eye thing, and eventually I think Give just sort of like laughs instead.
Yeah, and Sunrise just gives this like fond like sigh. I'm gonna spend one hold. How could I get your character to tell me the truth about what just happened?
Yeah. Make me think either by truthfully or by lying. That telling you about this will get me back into the fort quicker. Well, like telling you about it will let me go back there.
Yeah, okay. So they told you that in the fort. But you're not there now.
No,
Did you do something naughty?
Well, I'm not meant to go in the fort.
You went in the fort, didn't you?
Yeah.
And you're not there now. So tell you what. You tell me what you did in the fort that made him kick you out. And the more you tell me, better equipped I'll be to have a word with him and get you back in. I'm sure it can all be smoothed over.
You think if you talk to them, then I can go there whenever I want?
I'll try.
Sticks was in there, but Partridge wasn't in there. Because Partridge was doing something else, somewhere else, and there was a guy who had stripes on his head, but he died, but it was like a car, and then it was Sticks because Sticks shot him after, and he wanted to get the guns, but he didn't get the guns.
And you have a handout in your inventory.
Okay. But he had a thing in his pocket, and they go through their like dig in their little bag or whatever, and they pull out this like photograph, and like show you the photograph side of it, and I like cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like hand it to you.
Cool.
And I like he had this picture in his pocket and of like this really pretty place, and there's some stuff on the other side. I don't know what it is.
Yeah. So I read it and I frown.
Styx didn't seem to like the stripy head man though. That's why he shot him in the face. But he was already dead when he shot him.
And then what happened?
Well, I had to. Styx was gonna maybe use a gun on me, like before. So,
Yeah, and like instantly again, right?
Yeah,
like exactly the same thing happens, and like they just go very, very still.
But like remember that like Giffen said this before and it wasn't true.
I don't think that matters. I think
Yeah.
like the idea of violence to the child, to my child, no.
So it's like confusing but
no.
still concerning.
Confusing,
Yeah.
but still, I'm not
Yeah.
down with that shit.
It gives like so I took Whisper's face. And I think like when I say that, like you know what that means. Like I
Yeah.
think Sunrise
That's a code we have. Yeah.
seen this happen. I don't know what Sunrise thinks of it. But I think Giv is is a bit worried to say it. So maybe that somehow informs that. But yeah. So they're just like, I took Whisper's face because he wasn't gonna hurt Whisper. But then I hit him a bit. Like you said, like if someone is grabbing me, then I should hit them on the ears. So I hit him on the ears. And then I got away, and then I came here.
And I think there's like this long, inscrutable moment of like Sunrise is just like very, very still and like completely like non-responsive yet. Like it's all still processing somewhere behind this cool, sharp facade. I'm gonna spend another hold. What does your character wish I'd do? Like what emotional reaction are you looking from
I think
from me?
Yeah. I think Giv wants you to approve of the way they handle the situation. Like I think you like Giv wants your approval of like, yeah, you did that really well. You did what I like told you. That was a good thing to do. You did the right thing. Because I think like, yeah, the thing that you like enacting the thing that you taught them didn't go quite how they expected it would go hypothetically in their like imagining of that. And they're feeling pretty shaken about it. So they want you to just be like, yeah, no, you did that right. That's cool. You've solved it.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think like they nod, and they like, what, like I'm suddenly struck with the need to know like where physically what is our like proximity and relationship to each other in this moment. Like, are you still sitting on my shoulder? Are you?
No, I think I'm standing in front of you. I think I'm standing in front of you. I'm imagining like this very like you're quite like big and sort of loomy in a kindly way, sort of, but a scrutinizing way. And Giv is very sort of like the kind of like wringing their hands.
So I think they kneel down. But ironically, it doesn't. All it does is emphasize the size difference.
Yeah, because they just sort of get like
even
really...
further. Yeah, because I'm like so broad, as like even more than tall, maybe. Compared to you, anyway. And reaches out and claps like one like hand on your shoulder, and it's like, if he was trying to hurt you, you did the right thing. I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna spend my last hold. What is your character really feeling?
really conflicted because you're approving of them and that's what they want. They want you to approve of them and make the situation simple, but they know that they were not technically being hurt. So but they yeah, that like you've given them the solution, so they're like the thing that they want, so they're just gonna like go with it. So they just like do their best to like, you know, nod and look like glad.
I also think, like, for what it's worth, like, I think in the idiom of Sunrise and the way that they have like taught Give to think about like personal protection, I think if someone was going to hurt you includes like impending but not yet arrived danger. Like they are very they're very comfortable with the idea of like preemptive self-defense if it is just
in which case then I think it's more than a like a confusion or confliction that they brush away because they, you know, they go, that doesn't seem like exactly what it was, but no, because Lola says it's fine, so it's fine. So I think they just sort of like brush that idea away and kind of go, yep, okay, like you fixed it and I did the right thing.
And I think they like pull you into like a hug, and there's like a one arm hug. And then they like sling you back up onto their shoulder. Mito was saying we might go for a bit of a wander. You want to come?
Yes.
All right. Yeah, and so I head back inside the radio to find Mito.
Being a message.
I'm changing records. Fuel by Metallica has just finished. And What Do You Want From Me by Adam Lambert is just starting up. I do a quick, you're listening to Beat Bright Eyes. Don't touch that dial. I know you're out there, and I know that we can get you what you need. And then I panic slightly. Because here's the thing, right? My communication with the Stooges has been different.
I mean, that's not the only, like, the Stooges aren't the only people who use that line.
That's where I was going with this. Sounds like we could have a deal that might happen. I just have to hope that this person is, whoever is on the other end of that Morse code line is listening.
Not a lying son of a bitch.
Oh, paying attention. Right? I mean, anyway, so I've done the switch. Oh, good. Hey, Sunrise, what's up? What are you doing in my studio?
Oh, looks and sounds sounded earlier, Mito, like you're in need of some jingle.
Yes, very much. Look,
you want an extra body, 2 extra pairs of eyes, help you out as you work a job.
In addition, like,
I mean, Giv's not really one for the fighting, but they're good at watching.
I like do this like binoculars and like look at Mito really intently.
Yeah, so like there is a legit moment of confusion because I'm ready to tell you, you should really be looking after. I can't bring you on because one, all of the help that you've already given me is just great. Thanks for that, mate. But also, I deal with some pretty shady characters, and you should be dealing. I can't risk a child's life by. Oh, you're going to risk the child's life for them. Okay, all right, that's fine. Really good at watching.
Mm-hmm. I see all sorts of things, and I can go in people's places.
Go into people's. Okay. Okay.
Do you want me to go in someone's place?
Do you know any places around here where there might be some fuel or some petrol or kerosene or any sort of chemical that burns?
Ash, have I smelt or seen or encountered places within my network where there
I
might
mean,
be those
you know
things?
that the Sons of Combustion have
Yeah.
a stash.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Of
Um,
course. Yes, of course.
You also know that, like, your network goes to everyone, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I think there's one that you know of. That I think you know that if you go, like, far up northwest, into that like grey area on the map, there's a big compound, like a massive, like complex that has storage of all sorts of things.
Oh, yeah.
It used to
Okay.
be-
Absolutely that then.
Yeah, it used to be like a shopping mall,
Mm-hmm.
but like now the like all of the like car parks have got like chain link fences with like razor wire on them and all this sort of thing. So they're like holding yards and shit like that. Um,
Yep.
Yeah.
I think you avoid going
Um,
there because it's very dangerous, right? Like
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
anytime you put
that
your
was what
head
I
out,
was about
there was
to ask.
guns, right? Like
Yeah,
there was like
exactly.
like immediately
Yeah.
shot at.
So like when Mito was like, do you know of any places like that? I sort of like kind of like make a thinking face for a bit, and then my eyes get really big, and I'm like, there's the Paradise Place, but I haven't been there because you can't go in, but it's got everything in it.
I turn to Sunrise and I'm like, Paradise Place?
Have you mentioned this place before, Give? Like,
I don't think so. No,
yeah,
I don't think I've talked
just
about
I
it.
just shrug.
Just
Like-
get off.
Yeah.
I just like I've got no better idea than you. Like, you tell
Okay,
me,
that's
and we'll
that's
both
fair.
know.
How do
I
we
like. I
get-
think I say like, in the style of like an ad that may have been on a billboard. Like, it's got everything you need.
like an ad that maybe you could perhaps show us?
I can show you.
Of everything
But-
that we need.
You said you can't go in, Give. Why
Well,
not?
it's got lots of like guns and like fences and sharp stuff.
And
So
people
I
holding the guns.
Asher, so guards, there's guards, or was
Yeah.
it like
Yeah,
okay,
no,
it
there's
wasn't like automatic
no
systems.
searchlights and
Yeah.
and guards with
Yeah.
guns.
Yeah, so I'm like, people with guns and big lights and stuff, and I could go in there, but but there'd be lots of people with the guns if I went in by myself.
Just to clarify, before we push on, if Give leads us, like, other people can use the tunnels too, right?
I feel like no.
I think no. Okay,
Mm.
as in we
I
won't fit, or like
Yeah,
the maelstrom
think-
won't let us, or like
I feel like you wouldn't fit.
yeah,
I think it's like there's a whole bunch of places that could only be fitted
I
through
just
by a
kid
child.
size. Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
Totally.
So I think give is like you can't go through the tunnel, but if you were on the outside and I was on the inside, maybe I could get you into the inside, and then you could kill the people with the guns, and then we could take all the things.
Yeah, I think there's just like a long pause at the like, and then you can just kill them all. And Sunrise is like, I'm not sure I would do that.
Yeah, like
It's not that I'm worried I can't. It's that I'm worried I won't, and I don't want to.
yeah, no. Mito is clearly thinking practically here, and being like, okay, so we can have a two-pronged assault where we go up and we try to do things diplomatically while someone goes in and steals our stuff. Where is this?
Yeah. So I think Ash
Paradise?
says it's up in the grey bit.
It's
Yeah,
up in top right,
but-
top left corner,
Yeah.
past the highway. You can see that. You can see that compound.
We should label it.
For Paradise Place.
Yeah.
I think it's
naming
actually
things-
called like Paradise Mall.
Right.
Nah, it's called the Paradise Place now.
But that's what Gib calls it. Gib calls it Paradise Place.
I'm just gonna label it Paradise.
Yep.
That'll do.
Okay. Who do we? You don't have a vehicle, do you?
Look, if we're
I mean, if you need the back vehicle, we know who you can get one from.
Yeah, but I really don't want to. Yeah. Okay.
if we're gonna steal gasoline,
Stealing is.
strong word.
Yeah.
Look,
I
like,
think
if-
that it's the type of.
If we're gonna steal it, I'd rather
Would
take
I-
it from the Suns.
Would I know? Would I know anything about the Paradise Place now that I know where it is?
I think,
Oh.
like, yeah, if you,
Yeah.
mean- it seems pretty noticeable. If it's got like lots of security and stuff, like, and like it used to be a mall. So if you knew
Yeah.
anything about like the history of the place,
I'm
Well,
gonna.
I mean, not even.
You know
not
what?
even
Fuck
that.
it.
Like, it's.
Yeah. You know that you know who runs Paradise.
Mhm.
It's the man.
of course,
That's
Of course.
exactly what I didn't.
of course,
Oh, that's. I knew it was gonna.
home
I
of
knew it.
capitalism.
Okay.
Yeah. If we're gonna stir
Okay,
up
but here's
a hornet's
here's the-
nest, we know
here's
how to
the
handle
thing.
the Suns.
Here's the thing. The
I like-
man is always looking for bodies. The man is always looking for people to help out around his compound, and he would be willing to maybe trade some petrol if we were able to provide him with some kind of labor force. And when I say labor force, I don't mean that they're going to get worked to death. It's a nice, stable, safe place
But you said
for
you
a
don't like
large
that
number
man.
of people.
You see- You,
Yeah,
you
I'm.
say you don't like that man.
Okay,
You say
okay,
it on
okay,
the radio.
okay.
I heard
this,
you.
This all seems shady as fuck.
Yeah, so giving me this house being like, on
Little
the
man-
radio,
little
you're
man-
always saying bad things about the man.
Yeah,
Also,
I'm
you
not.
know
I'm
what
not
the
saying
man
anything.
wants.
What's that?
Sorry?
Also, you know what the man wants.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm not saying anything. I'm watching Mito's uncomfortable reactions to the blunt questioning of this child, and I am staring deep into him as he reacts.
That sounds like you're reading
people-
reading a person.
Yes, it does. That's just what I've been doing this session.
Yeah, and you're getting XP for it like a pro.
I know. I'm very fluent in person. Most of the time. Most of the time.
Cool. That's awesome.
All
Continue
right.
conversation.
Yeah, so I'm like, you say mean things about the man all the time on the radio. I heard you. Why do you want to be his friend?
You'll understand when you're older,
Ugh.
but I don't want to be his friend. He has something that I need, and I have something that he needs. Sometimes in life, you have to make difficult decisions to make sure that everyone gets as close to what they want as they can. I think that I would like to roll on that.
Yeah, it sounds like you're trying to convince It
Yeah.
sounds like you're trying to convince me. I'm very
That's-
unconvinced.
Yeah.
that's what I'm.
Yeah.
Also like, oh boy, Mito.
So
They're-
why should they believe you?
Why?
Because grown-up nonsense.
Because they're a grown up, yeah.
Because they're grown
Like-
up. Okay.
Because they're a grown
Yeah,
up.
like yeah,
And because I trust them.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like it's there's legitimate leverage there.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
like, Jimmy, I'm putting it out there. Whatever progress Mito made with Sunrise earlier.
yeah,
Yeah, you're just blowing it.
I can't say I blame you. I'm not proud of this. Just FYI, this is not.
But it's
not
good.
how
You're
I-
doing well. You're making things more complicated. That's how Apocalypse World works.
That's right. Scarcity.
Okay.
You're
Scarcity
doing
of
great.
integrity.
How do you do? How do you do? You do well. Yes.
Succeed.
Ooh,
All right.
nice.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So like, yeah, I sort of like give you like a really skeptical frown for a while, and then I sort of like kind of like breathe right out and like sort of plonk my like head on top of like Sunrise's, like my chin on top of Sunrise's head, and I'm like, grown up stuff sounds boring. Ooh, do we have to talk to the man now?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna put it out there, Jimmy. Just for reference, you talk about a labor force. Two of my gig options are serve a wealthy NPC as a bodyguard or execute a murder on behalf of an NPC.
Awesome.
Holy-
Yeah, I have like
I don't want to.
messengers for NPCs and like watching things for NPCs as well.
Oh, though actually, oh, how committed am I to this course of action? Okay, Jimmy, how committed to you are the idea of are you to the idea of robbing the man?
Just so we're aware, wealthy NPCs currently include the man, Balls, Partridge.
And whoever's in charge of the Sons of Combustion?
That's Balls.
Yeah, balls.
Balls, yep, sorry, God. And then presumably the Gearhead boss, but we don't have a name for them yet.
No one is currently in control of the Gearheads. You saw that in a vision.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
How committed am I to? Okay, I was not.
Yeah,
planning-
are we stealing from the man, or are we gonna go and make nice with the man? Like, what's the read I'm getting off Mito here, right? Like, which is it that you are talking about doing?
Yeah,
Mito-
it's just like
Mito does
legitimately
not-
make a deal or make a deal.
Yeah, because if we're making a deal, then like I have some opinions.
I don't know if Mito sees another option right now. Mito
Okay, so we're gonna make
genuinely-
an actual deal.
Well, unless I can be convinced otherwise. Give me a
Yeah.
better option than handing over these old people as labor.
Yeah, it's a
Um,
bad option.
Like
There's a
I
couple of
don't like
trades.
I this is I'm trying to think of a way to get everyone what they want. I'm trying to keep these people safe, which the man is awful, but to be fair, he's got a structure there that works and goes through. We need the petrol. The man has the petrol. I don't like this
You need the petrol.
either. Well,
Let's be
Well,
fair.
no, but also Mito needs the petrol if they're gonna keep like taking people in and like
either way.
because it's a
That's
warm
true.
space. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Like-
Ash,
Yeah.
have I ever dealt with the man before?
You haven't.
Have I
Um,
heard?
The
Like,
reason you
do
haven't is
they-
because the reason you haven't
You
is
can-
because the man is
Yep.
on the other side of the highway, and the only time you ever cross the highway, is if you are going to the Gearheads, and they're fairly far south of that.
Yeah, no, that's totally fair.
Like between the
I
highway and
suppose-
the river, he's separated from this area, notably.
Yeah, okay. So I suppose what I'm asking is like, do I know enough about his reputation to know if when Mito says like the man understands the value of good hard work, like he's not gonna just like work them to death? Like, do I think that that gels with what I
he'll
have
happily
heard.
work people to death.
Okay, so Mito is just being a dick. Okay, cool.
So yeah,
I think
So
Mito is
that-
just being naive,
Yeah.
being overly hopeful.
Like
in this
the man will look at you and decide if he thinks you're worth it, and if he thinks you're not, then you're just labor. Right? That's
Yeah.
That's the reputation. He makes judgments.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he judges people. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna turn around, from Mito. Mito, there's like a wall of windows somewhere in your Radio Shack, right?
Well, yeah. So
Just for the aesthetic, right? Like.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. You mean windows outside?
Like one of the outside walls is just like mostly windows,
it's
right?
sheer glass. It's not even windows. It's like a plated wall.
Yeah, cool. All right, so I'm gonna walk over to that wall, which purely by dint of narrative coincidence faces northwest in the direction of where the man lives.
Yeah. So you can stand dramatically in front of the window.
And I am going, because I can't.
Sell me on how we can get this guy off.
Ash, is it plausible?
I mean, I've offered you several trades here, Jimmy, not just one. There are several opportunities for trades that I've put in front of you.
Yeah. Is it plausible for me to read a situation about this?
Yes.
Through secondhand rumor of the man?
Yep.
Like that's not me like fucking the system or anything.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm like standing there and I'm like staring out at the compound as I turn over in my head both the specific figure of the man in terms of like what I know of him and what I've heard of him, but also like all of the men like him who I have dealt with in the past. Because like they're all right, like they're all in a lot of ways like of a kind, right? Like these people who think they can own people, like
but yeah,
in a lot of ways they're all the same.
Before you do this, the lights flicker and there is a pop from the studio booth.
Nice.
Oh no. Okay.
I like before you rolled any more dice, I had to announce that because it's a result from your previous roll.
Yeah, totally. But yeah, so I'm not even I don't think I even notice. Like I'm just lost in the cogs and wheels of my own brain as I just like stare out and plot and try and figure out the puzzle
you can
of
read
the
now
man.
If you want, I'm just letting you know that happened before you rolling more dice.
Yeah, totally.
I definitely noticed that happened.
Totally. That's Mito Bright Eyes can deal with that. That's
there's no music coming from your radio, Emily. Give.
Cool.
Partial success.
Nice. All right. All right. So okay. So Ash. The charge situation, as I see it, the charge situation here is the idea of interacting with the man in any way, shape, or form. Like, doesn't matter whether we're going to trick him, are we going to try and kill him? Like, that's just charged. Everything about it is charged. What's my best way in?
I mean, the man is specific. The man almost always knows what he wants, and the best way to avoid getting fucked by him is to give him what he wants. And at least Mito, I don't know if you know from episode 0, at least Mito knows what the man wants.
All right, so our best way in is give him exactly what he wants.
Yeah, you're very lucky.
To lull.
I think you're very lucky in the fact that he has asked for something. All right, like that makes sense.
Yeah, he's almost like overplayed his hand.
Yes, definitely.
Like we know what the key is.
He's desperate. Like he would like you know this. You know he wouldn't.
Yeah. Because men like this don't
Ask.
don't ask unless they're Yeah. Okay. Cool.
People
Yeah,
bring
so
them what they want.
Yeah. Totally. All right. Yeah. So I think we just leave Sunrise like standing there contemplating the window for a bit, while
Jimmy,
Mito and Give deal
Mito,
with
how you
whatever
doing?
the fuck just happened.
What's that
Am
sound?
I doing?
Yeah.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, as soon as it like goes pop and like my radio stops making noise, I like look at the radio and like climb down off of Sunrise's shoulders and like go over to Mito and just like look worriedly at Mito.
I reach into my. I can't remember the exact wording on the note, but the note that the tongue was on, I've still got that with me.
I wonder if it's in the chat.
I don't think it was. I think you just.
Yeah, I don't think it is.
It was like stop doing something. Wasn't
No,
it?
it was. It was. It was bring me. It was bring me towel. It was I know you. I know you're a man who can find things. Bring me towel.
Or your friends will be.
Or your friends will lose their tongues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to go out to the back where the generator is. I think hopefully it's just frozen.
No.
I kick it a few times.
What just happened was you're getting low on fuel. For a second there wasn't enough. It stopped and then it came back on again with too much.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. All right.
I think like as Mito's sort of like moving around and like pacing and looking worried, Give is just like, why is the music stopped?
I hit the emergency, the circuit breaker switch to turn everything back on.
It came back on, right?
Yeah, but
yeah.
So,
the problem is a fuse somewhere is busted, or something is busted from that surge.
Can I see if the tables are spinning?
I'm just gonna check your moves.
Yep.
Extended.
The move, see if tables are spinning.
Well, it would be like either you know what? No, I haven't done this the entire game, and I would like to open my mind.
Yeah, do it.
The station and I have a bond. I've grown up. This is the only home I've ever known. I know how it ticks. I know how it breathes. I know what every pop and every fizzle means. I would like to go into a trance state. I'm going to be looking at, I don't know, what's a good psychedelic album cover? We'll go with one of the Jimi Hendrix Experience covers, and I just stare deeply at it and just let the maelstrom take me over and concentrate on the build of the station and how everything fits together and the clockwork that goes into this.
So I think the thing is that you zone out and you start hearing that drone, right? But then for you it starts getting overlaid with like other noises that are like, you know, like it goes into like trance, and then like, you know, like a drum beat drops into there somewhere, and all these
I
sorts of
sort
things.
of,
And can you roll
I
me
sort
your
of,
weird?
I kind of hear it like an old analog radio when
Mhm.
you're like you're going in between the two stations and they sort of bleed into each other
Yeah.
with white noise. So I'm gonna roll this. I don't know how it's gonna go.
Good luck.
Oh,
Whoa!
oh, that's not a good prize.
Not good. Mark XP though.
So yeah, you're
Do I mark XP for
no,
that?
you don't
I
mark
think
XP
I
for
do.
failure. You mark XP for highlight, which you have.
Oh,
highlighted.
only for highlights. Oh, well then I've
Yeah.
marked one.
You have weird
Can-
highlighted, don't you?
Can give help?
Not at that score.
I don't think so, because
No,
wait.
no, you
Oh,
can help.
Yeah, you can push
I-
it. You can push it to partial.
yes, and I was gonna say like, can I narratively? I was like, oh, well, I don't know the radio station as well, you, but I know what it's supposed to sound like.
Yep.
I absolutely know what it's
And you
supposed
also
to
have that
sound
weird
like
radio.
from the outside. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, that's why I know what it's supposed to sound like from the outside. Okay. Yep. So I don't have. I have 0 hex with you at the moment, so it's just a straight D6, isn't it?
Yeah, a hit'll do it though.
Okay.
All you need is a 7.
Please.
No.
Oh,
That's 2
looks like-
failures.
Yeah.
Nope.
That's
What
cool.
does it mean a
'cause, like,
helper interfere?
that makes perfect sense, right? Like you're tuning between these sounds, and for a moment you start to hear the resonant frequency of every piece of equipment in your office, right? Like you can hear the sounds of the objects in your room as they vibrate, as like, because all matter is condensed energy. It is all like has a resonant frequency. You can hear how the sounds intermingle, and then just there's this other sound coming up over it, and it's like washing over your like psychic sense, and your actual ears are kicking in, and all you hear is this yeah, and you turn around, and Clarion is just standing there reaching out. Her eyes are empty, her mouth is open.
No.
Yeah, she reaches towards you. What do you like? Her whatever she was wearing, like her old like flowery dressing gown, is the same pattern but now white, like as if it were faded by like decades of sunlight. Her face is like pulled back in that same kind of way, and her eyes are empty, her mouth is open, and she reaches towards you, like towards your ears with her hands.
I'm immediately screaming, like just like full on like panicked kid screaming.
Okay.
What do you do?
I'm definitely acting under fire here. Like absolutely, I am acting.
Tell me what you do. Don't say what move you're doing.
Don't
Tell me
say
what
mechanic.
you do.
Okay. Okay. So, I'm concentrating. The noise is getting unbearable, but I'm still trying to focus. And then there's a child's scream, and that just snaps me out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And as I look up to see this, it's a shape just looming in on me. My first instinct is to probably roll out of the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's acting under fire.
Yeah. Yeah, that's yeah, I can't. Is there a way I can use my unflappable persona here?
I mean, rolling out of the way doesn't sound super unflappable.
He's
Yeah.
like, "Wah!"
Yeah,
I mean,
no, I
this-
don't think.
Like,
I
here's the
don't think
question.
so.
Yeah,
either.
like I'm interested because like unflappable persona says you always use it, don't you?
Yeah,
no,
when you know it, you can.
You
I can.
Right. Yeah.
It's not a
Yeah, so
move substitution.
Let
It's
me
an
know
optional
if
one.
you can. If you can work out how your unflappable persona helps.
I think that a monster just attacked me, and I think that it works for the character if for the first time Mito is legitimately scared and they're forced to actually show some real emotion. So I'm actually going to roll cool for this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's breaking character.
Meanwhile, I immediately start yelling like Lola, Lola, Lola in the background.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you get out of the way because like, you like roll out of the way and it like just turns towards your desk, and just like starts to like I think it does just like reach towards it with these like fingers that are like growing like long and sharp.
What's my desk? Oh. Can I try and reason? What was their name?
Oh, Clarion.
Clarion. Clarion. Can you hear me, Clarion? Can I help? What do you need? What do you need from my desk? How can I help?
She plunges her
you?
fingers into part of the desk, pulls some electronics out, and throws them across the room.
Yeah, I'm like, it's not Clarion. It's not person. It's not a person.
Yeah, I think I think
You may
by
enter
this
now.
Hmm?
You may enter now.
Yeah, I think by this point, like the sound of gives like fear has like I think as soon as like the first Lola comes, like I have turned around away from the window. I am like crossing the room with like deceptive speed for someone of my size. Into the doorway. What do I see?
You see,
Like, what is my very quick impression of the room?
You see a like faded Clarion. So the floral print of her nightgown and the blotching of her face have just left her head to toe white floral, like faded, faded floral patterns. And she and her fingers are long white talons that are just like just clawing at the desk, pulling it apart.
I am also...
have I seen one of the Wolves of the Maelstrom before? Like, have we had an encounter with one in the past?
Yeah, obviously her eyes are empty and her mouth is open, making this horrible moan.
And making a horrible noise.
I think maybe once, but a really long time ago. But you hear me get scared about them and talk about them sometimes. Yeah. But I think like if we had an encounter, it was kind of ambiguous in some way, like for you.
Yeah, right. This seems a whole lot less ambiguous. So a hand like I cross the intervening space incredibly quickly, pause in the doorway. There's like a beat where I take in the scene, and then without any hesitation, a hand comes out of the cloak with a gun in it, and I put a hole in her head.
Yeah.
Is that suckering someone, or is that?
Let me double check the definition.
The definition.
This is really on the border, right?
Yeah. Unsuspecting or helpless.
Do they care? Like.
They do.
Well, I mean, they obviously they care about being shot, but they also have a mission.
Yeah, but do you know what their mission is?
At the moment, it appears to be take out
wrecking
the radio
your
station.
shit.
Remind me, do you have an eye patch over your eye?
God, that's a good question. I don't think so, because I've described like just opening it mid-conversation a couple of times. Yeah, fair. Totally 110% fair. All right, cool. So this is the battle move.
I think even as you're approaching the room, she stops what she's doing and turns to you.
Yeah, she can feel it. Yeah, totally. Yeah, totally. So is this
This
seized by
is-
force, or is this single combat?
No quarters. Sorry, I'm just checking.
Yep, no worries.
You're not giving the option for them to back down, so you're not giving them the option to stop, and you won't hurt them. In which case, yeah, no, single combat makes sense because of that, because of the eye thing, right?
Yeah,
Like,
no,
Yeah.
totally.
Yeah.
So
and
here,
I'm
here,
going to
here,
give you, I'm going to give you -1, like, ongoing for fighting her because of it.
yeah, totally.
Mm.
I'm gonna put this out here. There's something we need to figure out because this is the first time I've been in a fight. One of my moves is when I go into battle.
Which you're
Does
doing
that
right now.
require what does so here's the question. Does that require does a battle require multiple opponents?
No,
Like okay, so you don't think there's a yeah, no, that's cool.
I mean this is a battle.
I was
where
thinking,
it's
like, there's-
happening.
There's yeah, I was thinking there's a case for a semantic distinction between like a duel and a battle. Because the move on a 10+ does require that you choose 2 NPCs. Which would seem to require that it's for like group melee.
Let me double check.
scenes.
Let me double check. I can
Just
find
as-
that. Topical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As a
cool.
side note, there are a number of NPCs in the building,
There are. That's totally true.
which is, I don't know how you feel about being encouraged to roll low, but
Yeah, like something about that phrasing makes it sound like it's like a. And now we do like a Mad Max style like battle sequence, not just like I shoot 3 people in a pub. But I'm also totally cool for it to work if I'm shooting 3 people in a pub. I don't mind.
No, I think this is a battle, right? Like you can have
Yep,
a battle between two
cool.
people. Like yeah, that makes sense.
Fuck yeah! I'm gonna roll plus
Yes.
weird, and this is gonna
Yes.
be terrible.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
Yeah, it
fucking
is.
knew it. Fucking
that's a
knew
3.
So what were you rolling?
it. Yes, it is.
What was the
Visions of Death.
oh yes, right,
So-
of course.
Oh,
On a miss, I
shit.
foresee my own death and accordingly take -1 throughout the battle.
So you've got -2.
Yep.
I know.
Shit.
I'm
So like for a
reaching-
second there, right? All you see is now I'm trying to work out what it is. Sorry, I have to do it. You see Clarion take her fingers and just put them through your ears and just like rip your rip you apart from inside.
Ew. That's gross.
Yeah. And I think like
What do you do?
I'm like as I'm still processing that, like I think my finger has already pulled the trigger.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have been doing violence for a very long time.
Yeah.
A lot of it is just down to muscle memory at this point.
Yeah.
So I am gonna
in single
roll
combat,
plus hard.
No quarters, exchange harm, but first roll hard. So roll hard. Remember that you're -2 on that.
Oh.
I'm just rolling the best.
Oh no. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear.
Cool.
dear,
All right.
oh dear.
Wait. What was that total? Like once we take the negs off?
Hmm?
Oh, it's a 4 once we take the negs off. I was like,
Yeah, it's a
did
4
get
once we
the
take the negs
negatives?
off.
No, we didn't.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Um,
Are either of the others able to aid or interfere?
Yeah, so I'm just wondering.
Uh,
I can. I mean, oh yeah, it would get you up to partial, wouldn't it?
yep. It would get you up to
Yeah,
partial.
I think narratively,
I mean,
yeah,
would
like
it? You'd
I
need to-
understand
you'd need
these things
+3
best.
to be up to partial.
Can we
Really?
both
Yeah.
assist?
Okay, well, because I'm already at -2,
Oh, because
so I'm
you're
actually at a 4.
Yeah.
Can 2
Okay.
people assist at once? I don't.
I don't think
No.
so.
That
No.
feels against the intention of the design.
And I would only
even if
add
it's not
1, wouldn't I?
technically against the rules. You would add +2 or +1 depending on how it goes.
Okay.
But yeah, I think not. I think it's too far gone.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Let's do this thing. Let's be very thankful I've taken the moves I've taken.
Okay.
All right, so we are exchanging harm as established. Now I just want to check what additional moves I have. Yeah, all right, cool. Let me just double check the harm amounts. I think it's 2 for if you're piercing things with scary shit.
Sounds about right.
Let's say 2 harm is her harm amount.
Yep.
So yeah, so you like pull this trigger, right?
Yep.
And like you hear the sound of the thing go off, and then suddenly you just feel like piercing into your hand, and like you drop this gun, and she she pulls section, just rakes into your arm,
Yep.
just all the way up to your shoulder.
Yep. So my harm as established is 4.
Mm-hmm.
My gun is 2.
Yep.
I am a small gang, which means I do +1 against individual targets.
Mm-hmm.
Unless she also counts as a gang, which is possible.
No.
Yep, so that's 3. And then I took a new move, everyone. Yay!
Yay.
I took Merciless. When I inflict harm, I inflict +1 harm.
Fantastic.
So how much do you
Good.
do?
So I do 4 harm. Because I am a small gang, I take 1 less harm from lone targets, and I have 1 armor.
Cool. So
it
the 2
sounds
harm
like
coming at you, but you've got 0 actually hitting you.
Yes.
Yeah. Cool. But that
Yeah,
gun
and
is
then you get to choose 1 against me that will either reduce.
On a miss,
Yeah, so and then you get to choose either.
I'm gonna
Yeah, I will
inflict
take
terrible
another
harm.
one.
Yeah.
Yep. So
I'm
I do
gonna
it.
inflict
So 1
terrible
harm gets through. Yep.
That gun is being destroyed. For the let me just double check. I wanted to double check the number of failures that we've got there.
But isn't that the Battle Babe gun?
It is the Battle Babe gun.
I'm just double checking that. No, I don't have
Yeah.
enough fails for that. That's fine. So that
Okay.
gun just
Phew.
goes on the
Yeah.
ground.
That would have been bad.
Yeah.
Yep.
No. So you're taking an additional damage,
Yep. Cool. So I take 1 harm.
but the gun is on the ground. But she's
Yep.
dead. How did she die if you don't hit her?
Well, is it that? Because isn't this one the thing where you always exchange harm, but then consequences?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
that's
it's-
what
yeah,
I'm
like
saying is you kill her, right? But not with that gun.
Yeah. So I think it's like I pull the gun out. I think I pull the gun out, the nails, the nails rake out and catch my hand.
Yeah,
And
because the point is
I
that
drop-
she just fucked up the tendons in your hand.
Yeah, and I drop the gun, and then the other hand goes down, and one of the sticks is up, and I literally cleave her head,
Mm-hmm.
in with it,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
because it also does 2 harm as a base.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. So I drive a stick halfway through her skull.
Yeah. Cool. And then you pull it out, and thousands and thousands of blowflies emerge from her, and just start
Ew.
funneling out into the room
No.
as she
Ew.
withers away into nothing.
Oh God,
Yeah.
it's Australia.
Yeah, Oscorp, just my favorite.
Oh, that's bad. That's really bad.
Cool. Good timing.
Yep. Yeah, and I think there's a beat of silence as Sunrise stands there, having just killed a thing for the first time in 15 years.
Yeah, and Give is sort of backed right up into the corner of the room, and I think crouched down on the ground, and is just staring really intently at, I think actually at the body, not at you. just staring really, really, really intently at like completely sort of frozen.
Mito is now pondering how self-righteous and indignant you get to be, being that you brought a monster into my house.
I mean, who
That's
knows
fair.
where the monster
That's
came
fair.
from?
That's
No.
fair. Yeah, I think like slowly and laboriously, like the stick goes back away, the gun gets picked up and put back away, and then Sunrise like goes to cross the room towards Give.
Yeah.
And what, like, the question is what kind of
Yeah.
reaction they get, right? Like,
And it's this weird thing, right? Like, because it's exactly the same shot as we saw with Styx and Fake Whisper earlier.
yeah, totally.
I have a question, which is that was the way that your eye was affecting you during that fight, was that outwardly visible? And if so, in what way?
It was slipping.
How was it interfering?
It was doing that thing it does, right? Like where it looks at what the Maelstrom wants to see, not what I want to see. Like I think it was I think it was rolled all the way back in my skull.
Yeah.
Like I think all you could just see was just like fire where the eye should be.
So I already have a note to myself that says, keep an eye on your eye. And your eye was doing a weird thing that was not good.
Yep.
And I don't like it.
Yep.
I'm
I'm
I
not
think,
overly keen on my eye either right now.
I think Give, like just sort of does that kind of like scrambling thing and like kind of shakes their head a bit at you when you like
and I
grab
think
them
like
or touch them.
I think there was like Sunrise has been like cold steel this entire time. Like there was not a flicker of like response or hesitation or pain when their hand got fucked up, even though like they are clearly favoring the other one right now. But there is like they are like wounded by that almost like to a physical extent. Like they rock back a step. And there's like the face goes like tight with pain at it. And they just like turn and like go off to brood by the window again, I think.
I want to see.
And tend to their hand.
I want to see what Mito is doing in this. Like,
yeah,
we're
totally.
wrapping up, and we'll just wrap up.
Like what is the freeze? Because this is the freeze frame that we end on, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Like, what do we see of Mito before we close?
Mito is like almost like right now. What I've seen is someone like it's a look of betrayal, a look of fear. Someone who Mito thought could be trusted, let a monster into my house. Not only brought a monster in, but also was judging me for considering maybe not letting the monster into my house. Then this person, without hesitation,
I like your
completely and totally destroyed, like killed a living, like admittedly a monster that tried to kill me. So there's that, and I'm also reconciling the fact that I was going to die, and I was then saved. And I think I'm just gonna look at Give and see their panicked sort of expression, and maybe even go over and like the shot I wouldn't make it over in the shot, but the shot would just be like reaching over there to go for the comforting pat. And I think that's where it would cut.
Yeah, I think like if allowed, I think it would totally cut with like Give just sort of like, like snaps their head toward you, and like their eyes are like wide and reflective, and they just like whisper to you, wolves.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot.
That's really cool.
Yeah. Right. Nice. End of session.
Yeah.
Go team.
Sweet.
Right.
That was
At
cool.
the end of session, pick who knows you better or worse, Emily.
Oh boy.
Okay, let me think. Let me think about this.
A lot of character development.
I think think actually Mito knows me better than they did before. In part because this is the first time they've seen the wolves, and that's like a pretty sort of integral thing to
An important thing
Giv's
to you.
experience of the world. And also because, you know, like when Give like confronted them about the man, and they were like, it's, you know, this is a grown-up thing that this like isn't going to make sense to you. Like Give actually like backed down and was like, okay, well, you're a grown-up, so that makes sense. So yeah, I think Mito knows me better. So you add +1.
Yep,
to
yeah,
your
one.
sheet.
Cool. Sunrise, who knows you better?
Whew.
I mean, that's a tough one, right?
It's a tough one,
Or,
right?
or less, right? Like, who knows you less well?
Yeah, I mean,
It's true. Yeah. I certainly feel
Okay,
like Give knows
okay.
you less well.
I'm gonna talk through this. I don't know that it's necessarily a case of less well, because like the fact that Sunrise has a capacity for violence has never been.
No, yeah, not
Like-
that.
like
More
everyone-
so,
everyone-
like, what
everyone
is the
knows
eye
that.
about?
That's fair. That is
More
fair.
so that, yeah. No, the violence
Yeah.
is to
Yeah,
be expected.
but I suppose I almost feel like the fact that like this is the first time either of you have seen it, right? Like there's a lot of difference between like the conceptual idea that
Yeah.
like, yes, Sunrise is a dangerous person, and the reality of Sunrise
Just
is killed a
different.
person.
Just seeing
Like,
you just stab somebody, yeah.
yeah. Yeah, so the only question is like who that was more revealing to, and I almost feel like it's Mito.
Yeah, I kind of agree. Yeah.
Yeah. So Mito Bright Eyes, you get
Particularly because, yeah, like the two of you have had more like interpersonal conflict stuff
Yeah.
this time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Totally.
So that's always, yeah, I think.
Does that take
So-
you to +4, Jimmy?
It does take me to +4.
Do you
I
want to
assume
share a
that
secret?
means that I think we should, but let me update my
Yeah,
sheet.
I do want to share a secret.
So yeah, it'll be Sunrise sharing a secret to you.
Okay.
I mean, how do we want to do the format of that? Because, like, it could just be you just say a thing. Like, I would be interested to see that secret, like, on screen, but maybe, like, at the start of the next session or something like that. But Ash, if you think it's, like, you just want to do it as part of the move,
If we're gonna do it, I think it's
you know, just
I think
a spoken thing.
Yeah.
Can I
If we do it at
suggest
all,
something?
like that, yeah, because it's
I'm keen for doing it, but I would be keen for the secret to come to me outside of the channel. What we could do,
Ooh.
Yeah.
like, is that allowed?
Yeah, that's interesting.
So the idea is that I'm gonna read every action that your character does through this filter of this thing that only I know about, and
The chat doesn't know about. Yeah.
No,
that's
just-
See,
cool.
no, I want the chat to know, but just not me or
Yeah.
Ash.
Oh.
I think
Well,
chat
the
should be
chat-
in. Chat should
the-
always be in on it.
yeah.
But I won't
The-
read it. I will not read
Okay.
it. I will
How about
close
Emily,
my
take
Yeah.
your
chat
headphones
window.
off now.
Okay, yeah, I'll take my headphones
Yeah.
off for it. Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Legit.
Cool.
Yeah.
I will listen because I'm GM. Ha.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
Yeah. Sunrise was the man once. Not like literally,
Oh.
but like
Oh, I
like
love
like
that.
okay, right? So Maiden Mother Crone, right? In their
Yeah.
youth, they were like this fucked up like gunlugger type like ruthless killer.
Yeah.
In middle age, they were a hard holder.
I love that. That brings like
And
a
I-
whole dimension to our
Yeah,
relationship.
yeah, yeah.
That's
Oh, and
so good.
and I think oh fuck, I've got it, right? I think the gun is famous. Because intricate is one of its tags. I think the engraving on that gun is like incredibly distinctive. And I think when it was lying on the floor, you copped an eyeful of it,
caught an eye-
and you know
yeah.
now. You know
I
now
know.
that I
Oh.
was.
And like
Yeah.
which hard holder.
Yeah, which
Like, yeah.
that I might message to Jimmy in private or something because I need to.
Yeah,
I
think
can't just
about
come up with
that
like on the.
and
I need to have a little bit more time to work that out.
That's
Alright.
awesome. That
But yeah,
explains so much.
that's my secret. That's my secret.
Okay, cool. We're
Alright, cool.
we're good. You can
Cool.
put your
Yep.
put your headset back on.
It was so fun just like watching everyone's expressions because I was like trying not to actually watch Luke's face because I'd be able to read their lips. Like
Yeah.
so I was just sort of like looking at Ash and Jimmy being like,
Oh, it's so good. Okay, cool.
Cool. And then Jimmy, who knows Mito better or worse?
I mean, I feel like I spent a lot of the session trying to know you better.
But you didn't. Well, I mean, you kind of did.
kinda. That's true.
But,
Kinda.
like, I actually think that Give is. I have this image of how Give sees Mito, in that they think that they don't understand, but they believe Mito to have this great amount of power because of the like their only real experience with them has been through the radio and seeing how they work. This is the first time that I've addressed Give directly, and more importantly, I tried my best not to treat Give as a child. Like I Give asked a brutal, honest question, and it was difficult for me, but I gave the best answer that I could. And I kind of think that would have rubbed off a little bit more on Give and given a bit of an insight into my personality more.
Yeah.
Well,
And
also like, sorry, you.
No, I was just gonna say, and also like I think Give has a concept that the music, the radio, the sound that comes out of the radio is somehow like almost a supernatural thing that Mito just does as a person. So seeing it like falter and understanding that it somehow has to be maintained physically in the real world is like strange and new information to Give, I think, as well.
Yeah, well, I was about to say, like, also, like, Give has this very, like, mythologized picture of Mito.
Yeah.
And just watched Mito, like, desperately scrabble for his life.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
Right? Like, a lot of illusions about, like, the mythic, like, larger than life does not touch the ground, like, Mito Bright Eyes.
Totally. Yeah.
Like, are perhaps starting to fall away just a little.
Yep. Yeah, totally. All right, cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, so I think you get the HX there.
Cool. Sweet.
All right. Well, that was pretty fucking cool.
So intense. So intense.
That was great.
So, we should do shoutouts. Emily, do you want to do shoutouts first?
Sure. Hi, I'm Emily. I'm a filmmaker and an artist. You can find me on Twitter at BlackHoleSays. This was really rad and really intense. And I'm really sorry, chat, if we went to some really dark, gross places. I have a feeling it's going to keep happening. Maybe that's just Apocalypse World.
Maybe it's just
us. Maybe it's just us. Who knows? Maybe it's both. But yeah, that was really, really good. I'm having such a good time. Thank you.
Luke.
Hello, I am Luke. I am a professional GM for children. I am also a game designer in my spare time. In case you missed the exciting recap announcement at the beginning of the VOD, I released a game recently. It's real good. I'm real proud of it. We played it here on Ash's channel, and it was fucking amazing. So y'all should go watch that.
Check out the VODs on YouTube.
Yeah, y'all should go watch that, and then you should all go and buy my game, which I'm gonna drop a link.
It's true.
I'm gonna go drop a link in chat.
I'm not being paid to say that it's really fucking good. It's really good, and you should play it with all of your friends. I had such a good time.
Also, on which note, Em and I are going to be playing it again on Eric Vulgaris's channel at 6 p.m. Pacific on Tuesday night or 11 a.m. Wednesday morning Australian time. depending on where you are.
You should come watch. It's gonna be great.
And Jimmy.
Sorry, I didn't need a second. That was incredible. I'm Jimmy. I do comedy, I do writing, I do all this kind of stuff. I am available to run games for you at gm4hire.com.au. You can find me on Twitter at roleplay_James. There's a lot going on. I actually need a decompression session. like I need to just step away for a bit, process everything we've learned tonight.
I always have really weird dreams on Tuesday nights. On Monday nights.
Monday nights. Yeah, no kidding.
Oh man. Yeah, thanks for watching, and I just want to. I'm not in the Twitch chat, but they're all keeping me updated that you're all finding the songs
Yes.
that I am randomly throwing out, and that is awesome. That's like when this was a character that I was dreaming up. That was something that I thought would be an amazing thing to happen, and you've done it because you're incredible. So
yeah, shout out
thank
to
you for
Gravitron. Who I think found both of those ones for us. So
thank you,
to them.
Gravitron.
That was really great.
DJ
Gravitron also
Gravitron.
I've retweeted.
Yeah, DJ Gravitron.
I've also retweeted.
Gravitron did the fan art.
That keeps doing fan art. I've retweeted some
Holy shit! All right,
I got it.
I gotta go.
Sweet.
I gotta go poke around. I want to see the rest of this fan art.
Yep.
I'm
Yeah.
keen to check this out.
Sweet. Thank you so much. That's so exciting.
Cool.
Yay, we're like a real channel.
All right. Well, this has been I'm Not Trying to Kill You. We're playing Apocalypse World. This series is called Damp Spirits. I'm your MC, Ashton, and you can find me at ACEGIAK, ACEGIAK, on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Tumblr, all that stuff. ACEGIAK.net is my blog. And we will see you again this time next week for some more weird Ozcore Apocalypse stuff.
Ozcore Apocalypse.
Ozcore.
Best.
It was so Ozcore.
Flies.
And I'm so pleased.
I mean, that's what's going to happen, right? Like, obviously.
Obviously.
All right. We'll catch you next week, team. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.